I couldn't find the story in here, but there was another couple. He signed the Declaration of Independence, and his son was taken captive, and he was being held in a prison ship just off of New York. And the British actually came to him and said, if you will sign a paper that renounces everything that the Declaration of Independence stands for, and say that we're right and that the Americans should never have taken the stance they did, we'll let your son go. And he and his wife thought about it, and they prayed about it, and they knew that no matter how much they loved their son, if anything happened to him, he would be in a better place, but they had to stand by their word. I think what a great sacrifice they made. And then there's one more. His name is Lewis Morris, and he's from New York. And it says that he was again elected to Congress in 1776, and when the question of independence came up, he boldly advocated the measure, although it seemed in opposition to all his worldly interests. He plainly foresaw what actually happened. His house ruined, his farm wasted, his forest of 1,000 acres despoiled, his cattle carried off, and his family driven into exile by the invading foe. And I'm just so impressed by these men, and I'm sure women that we don't really hear about, that they, back at that time, they were at a deciding point, and they were willing to make the sacrifice. And I think they had decided what their line in the sand was, and their character came through, and they knew where they stood. And I think if you know where you stand, then everything else kind of falls into place, and it's not so difficult. Emotionally, at least, it's not as difficult. It doesn't mean there aren't hard times ahead, but you've drawn your line, and you can stand where you have dug in your heels. And I think that's just an important thing right now, is that we decide who we are, and that we're able to reach out to others and teach others, and also learn from others at this time in our history. So anyway, that's